Hello, welcome to Offside and On Tap with me, Tricky, yes, the Louis Theroux lookalike in the Newcastle top. For you younger viewers who don't know who that is, tap into Google Images and make your own mind up and see what you think. Welcome to the show. Up today, I'll be talking bus parking, talking roulette wheels and knockdowns, big knockdowns. But before we get into all of that, as usual, it's a time where I will introduce beer of the week, and here we go. So last week it was Madri, if you remember Madri. I went into Aldi earlier this week and just found this little beauty. Does it look familiar? A little bit of maybe a bit of a dupe of Madri from last week. Aldi do have a habit of doing that, creating their own brewery, knockoffs of other brewery companies. This is called Grande, Spanish lager, and the chappie on there looks a little bit like the guy off the Madri bottle, but he's come across Hard Times, a little bit like a Sandro Tonali on Hard Times, very much look alike. If you compare to the guy in the Madri bottle, who looks like a millionaire, doing well for himself, nice checkered waistcoat, lovely flat cap. This guy's had a little bit harder life, I think. But very, very similar looking bottle. 4.6% Spanish lager. I've not actually tasted it yet, so I'm going to do a little taste test to see which I prefer, whether that's the Madri original or whether it's the Madri knockoff. So I'm going to have a little try of this. Do you know what? That's actually really nice. That's really nice. I might have to have another Madri at some point to just make that final decision, but that's a really nice lager. Grande, Spanish lager, Aldi. Go and get it. Go and get some. Really nice. Hope everyone's having a great week so far. Enjoying all the matches that we've got. Champions League, Europa League, League Cup, which we won last night. Get in Newcastle. Should beat Bradford though, shouldn't you really? Last week's predictions, week 5 predictions and points. So thanks for commenting as usual. And just a reminder of the scoring. You get 3 points for a correct score and you get 1 point for a correct result. So there's a maximum of 30 points available in each game week from the 10 games. Top scorer from the viewers. So we had 2 top scorers last week. We had Lyndon and we had Robbo. Both got 8 points. Robbo, 1 correct score, which was Fulham 3, Brentford 1. Well picked out, although I know from knowing you personally, you do like a good 3-1 scoreline. Lyndon 2 correct scores, well done. Picked out your own team, Liverpool to beat Everton 2-1, and got Burnley 1, Forest 1 as well, so fantastic effort. Back to my normal average score for myself, 3 points, just 3 correct results, absolutely poor again. Again, another set of freaky results after the week before doing really well and getting 9 points, back to normal, 3 points. So yeah, we go again. As always, we go again. Keep the chin up and we'll try again this week. So I hope everyone's ready. Let's get into week 6 predictions. Opening up the weekend, game 1, it's Brentford at home to Manchester United, 12:30 kick-off on Saturday afternoon. If you remember back to last week, I was getting some grief from Sunderland fans, but I did get one bit of grief from a Sunderland fan about Brentford, funnily enough. They're a bit weird, them lot. If you remember back to MD89, and I gave him a little nickname, Major Dick 89. If you are about still, just let me know who you are. We can have a little chat. But yeah, he was basically giving me grief about predicting Brentford to go down at the start of the season. Well, guess what? Brentford lost again. Lost 3-1 at Fulham, and they're down in 17th place, so perhaps I was on to a little bit of something with that to start the season off. Brentford, interestingly enough, they have dropped 8 points already from winning positions in 5 games, so it just shows they are getting into position to actually go and get the results. They're just not converting, so a little bit of a worry, but at least they're getting opportunities to do that, and again, they've scored in every game so far. Manchester United got a result against Chelsea, battle of the 10 men versus 10 men in the end, in horrible conditions in Manchester. I was working in Manchester that day and I know how terrible the weather was. Really, really scary looking sky and rain, lots of rain. But Man United, 7 points from 5 games, it's identical to last season, but this time around they've had a really difficult start. They've played Manchester City, Manchester Derby, obviously lost, played Chelsea, who I just mentioned, and they played Arsenal. Obviously lost 2 at the start of the season. So if you think about it, 7 points from 5 games of those fixtures isn't terrible. They'll have a lot more friendly games to come. Once again relied from goals elsewhere, not up front. Sesko, I begin to think Newcastle dodged a bullet with Sesko. He's just not getting into games enough. And even in Blamo, big money. These players cost big money, not getting into games, not scoring the goals for them. I think Blamo's only scored the 1 goal so far this season in the league. I think the Casemiro suspension's a blessing in disguise. I really do. I don't know how he keeps getting the nod to go in that midfield. It's not working for him. Much better player in Manu. Ugarte is going to come in, isn't he, if he's available? He's going to come in and play alongside Bruno Fernandes. Doesn't really fix anything. It's just the same old. So it's a good time to play Brentford though for Man United. It really is. See Brentford losing last week and Man United winning. A little bit of momentum. I'm going to go for an away win in this game. I'm going to go Brentford 1, Manchester United 2. Next, we've got Chelsea at home to Brighton, Saturday, 3 o'clock kick-off. In the last game, Chelsea, a little bit of goalkeeping mayhem. It was the opposition who had a bit of a goalkeeping mayhem for Man United for a change. Sanchez, don't know what was going through his head. Absolute craziness. If you watch it back from the behind the goal angle, you actually see he reads the flick on. And the ball through, but he takes 2 steps back and then comes back forward to try and intercept. And by that point, Mbeumo's already in and got the ball, taking it away from him. And he knew straight away he's done for. The look on his face, he's like, I'm going for an early bath here. Perhaps just didn't want to get his hair wet. Ain't got any hair. But yeah, takes an early bath, and it's really hard for Chelsea to stay in the game at that point. They make a lot of subs. I think they get injured to Palmer at some point in that first half as well, so they have to make 3 or 4 subs in the first half. Just the whole game plan's gone. Man United scored twice, of course, and then obviously Casemiro got sent off and they'd get a goal back in the game, but really difficult for them. They're really missing Delap up front. The injury to Delap has meant that they've got João Pedro playing as the front of the play of the attack in the number 9 role, and he much prefers playing in that pocket behind the behind the midfield, behind midfield, position midfield, and in front of the defence, and then making his way into the box with clever play, little passes in with the wide players and other midfielders, and he's getting a little bit drowned by the centre backs in that position. Not his favourite role. And then central defence again, poor decision making for Chelsea. They're not picking up players. Making bad passes and getting cut out. Happened in the cup as well against Lincoln in midweek, and luckily they got away with it, getting intercepted passes. They're missing Colwell in defence, and it's just a little bit of a weak area for Chelsea. It's the one thing that will stop them from progressing in competitions is the goalkeeping situation again still not being addressed, and that centre back not having a proper partnership in there. Great in midfield, great up top, but lacking in defence. For Brighton, threw away a 2-goal lead against Spurs. They've conceded in every league game so far this season, which is very un-Brighton-like, especially with the likes of Van Heck at the back, who are really rate. Was linked with Newcastle at one point in the summer, along with everyone else. But in the week, Diego Gomez, 4 goals against Burnley. Who is Diego Gomez? Who is he? Didn't know who he was. Is he going to start this game? They tried a few different strikers this season, and are they going to put him in up front? I don't know. We'll see about that. But 4 goals in midweek. Some absolutely stunning goals as well. I think the 3rd goal for his hat-trick from the edge of the box, out of this world. But if Cole Palmer is fit, I'm still not sure about that. Even if he isn't, I think Chelsea will just get this game. I think they'll win this game and get back in winning ways. 2-1 to Chelsea. Repeat of the Community Shield from the start of the season. We've got Crystal Palace at home to Liverpool, 3 o'clock Saturday kick-off. Crystal Palace, they're still going, still unbeaten, 17 games in all competitions dating back into last season. But this is a tough assignment to extend that run to 18 games. Players in the squad, Gahey, Wharton, both been linked to Liverpool recent times, and will both be looking to impress the Liverpool team and manager for them to show their credentials off. Crystal Palace, they play a very similar formation to the way that Ruben Amorim wants Manchester United to play, with 3 centre-backs, wing-backs, so a 3-4-3 formation. But Crystal Palace do it really, really well. It's really effective for them, getting the ball forward, keeping the ball, and ultimately scoring goals as well. informed strikers. Sarr's gone and got injured, unfortunately, but they've got Mateta, who's in form as well. A couple of goals already for him this season. So the difference being for them, they have got an informed striker, which you do need to win games ultimately. Liverpool, big problems, haven't you? Big problems. Ekatiki's gone and got suspended for this game with his 2 yellow cards against Southampton. What a shame you haven't got a ready-made replacement to come in up front. Obviously, you've got Alexander Isak and just taking the piss, but he hasn't done 90 minutes yet this season, so tough to ask him to do a full game. Maybe he'll come in and start the game and then get replaced late on. But again, it's not an easy game, Liverpool. Got to go and play really well to get a result and get another win against Crystal Palace, extend that to 6 games winning. I said at the start of the season as well that you're going to be potentially a quality centre-back short if there was any injuries or big issues, and then he only goes and gets a torn ACL in the game against Southampton, so it's left you out 3 centre-backs, and one of those is Gomez, who's always good for an injury, only just come back from injury himself, so that's the only vulnerable part of the team Liverpool I can see. Everywhere else absolutely covered in all positions a couple of times over. But yeah, I fancy this game to be a close one, hard fought. I just can't pick a winner. Both teams doing really, really well. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game. Next game, we've got Manchester City at home to Burnley. Again, another 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Manchester City in the big game of the weekend just gone at Arsenal. Took an early lead. Erling Haaland sent through 1-on-1 with David Raya, and he just always scores, doesn't he? You can compare Erling Haaland in a 1-on-1 situation with a goalkeeper to spinning a roulette wheel. Let's imagine all the numbers other than the 0 are a red. You've got your money on red. It's that much of a safe bet that Haaland's going to put the ball in the net. Same as if it's spun red on those 36 numbers, the chances are always massive that he's going to come off, and he did. Really impressive for Haaland. He's already got 6 goals in 5 games, top scorer in the league. I think he's nailed on if he doesn't get injured already. I'm that confident on my early prediction from the season for the top scorer award. But then after that, we get to the 68th minute. They bring on defender for they bring on Ake for Foden. 68th minute. Fair enough. Put another defender in there. Still a little bit early, 20 odd minutes to go in the game. But then they bring off Haaland. He brings off Haaland, very un-Pep-like, takes a striker off. No striker on the pitch. It's only the 76th minute, puts Nico Gonzalez on, and they just go into parking the bus mode. Park the bus, low block, 6 defenders, 4 midfielders, and then just hope that the ball goes forward and Doku might break away. I'm just thinking very much like, what happens if Arsenal do score straight away? It goes 1-1. What's the game plan then? Are you just going to hold on for the draw because you're not going to go out and try and win the game from that position? And then they go and score late. Arsenal with a fantastic chip goal, disappointing in the end. They didn't hold on. I was going to do a video about how they were back in the title race properly, having won at Arsenal, and it just changed things very, very much late on. But yeah, the late equaliser wouldn't have hurt as much if Man City hadn't already lost 2 league games, but now they're 8 points off Liverpool already. Disappointing in the end, but again, you're unbeaten. Burnley on the flip side, spirited home display again once more, got the draw against Nottingham Forest. They have got battling qualities, and it's definitely going to keep them in good stead for this season. Team sticks together, Scott Park can get them scoring some goals, winning some games, then they've got a good chance of staying up, and I didn't think that would be the case. I thought they'd be nailed on 20th place contenders, and at the moment they're outside of that bottom 3, so well done to them at the moment. In this fixture in the Premier League, Manchester City averaged 3.33 goals per game against them. They've won the last 13 meetings, Manchester City, in all competitions with Burnley. So it's a hard one to predict anything other than a Manchester City win. Going to go for Manchester City to boss this game, unfortunately, for Burnley. And I'm also going to predict, I did early predict in this season a Haaland hat-trick, and he got 2. But I'm going to predict a Haaland hat-trick in this game. I've triple captained him, fancy Premier League players as well. 4-0 to Manchester City, Haaland hat-trick. Next up, we've got Leeds at home to Bournemouth, another 3 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. Leeds United, great result against Wolves away. 3 goals, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now, if you remember Dominic Calvert-Lewin and his pomp, He was really good in the air, aerial assassin, and he scored a great header, didn't he? He scored a fantastic header from a headed flick on, and that's what his strength is, I think, and it showed in the game. 3 terrific goals in the game from Leeds in general, and then played a very measured second half to see the game through, and they looked good on the counter-attack, so yeah, good positive vibes for them. The only thing I would say is they've only had 12 shots on target this season so far, and across the first 5 games. And as the season progresses, they're going to need to create more and more shots to get the goals that they need to win games and win points. Bournemouth, a rare quiet day at the hands of the boys. Newcastle, there you are, Newcastle. New defenders though effortlessly slipped into the team. Diakite, Senesi, Truffart. They've done really well. They've slotted them in. And yeah, they're 4th place in the league, and there's a great opportunity here for Bournemouth away at Leeds to cement that 4th place, if not go up the table, depending on the results. I'm going to back an Evan Nilsson and Semenyo goal apiece. I'm going to go for Leeds 0, Bournemouth 2. Next up, we've got Nottingham Forest at home to the Mackems, Sunderland. 5:30 kick-off on Saturday, tea time kick-off. Nottingham Forest got a point against Burnley, arrested that recent slide of form where they'd lost consecutive league games. But yeah, Ange still missing his first league win for the club. The blueprint though is really working. I think look a lot better in general though in the games, just taking a bit of working out for them. Much more expansive way of football, sharp passing, high press. He loves a high press, doesn't he? And high line of defence, and I think some adapting to be done still with the team, but I think it will come good for them in the end. They had another chance to perfect that style against Real Betis. As I'm filming, it was last night the game, and they drew 2-2. So not a bad result for your first game back in Europe for 30 years. I think it is something crazy like that. So yeah, I think they're looking okay, and they will start to pick up wins, I'm sure. Sunderland. Your 0-0 win at Palace, you followed up with a 1-0 win at home to Villa. Obviously, I'm taking the mick, but another unbeaten game for you, Aston Villa. And to be fair, you played with 10 men for most of that game, and got a point, got to come back from behind. So yeah, fair play. You've got another unbeaten game there. Granit Xhaka, again, driving force in midfield for you, the captain. Wilson, I just want to say, Wilson, Isidore looks an absolute bargain. I think, from what I've read, it's cost £5 million to make his move permanent this summer, and he scored 3 goals already. And you think some of the players that Aston Villa have signed, Gousson from France, he's French, £30 million, and what has he done so far? Not a lot. But Isidore, £5 million in a market where there's not many strikers about. They've done really well to get him through. He's only 25 years old. Had him on loan last season in the Championship, and I think that season in the Championship has done him some good. He's got him used to physicality of the Premier League, physicality of English football, and he's done really well. Started off really well. Nottingham Forest, I've just got a feeling they're going to get back to winning ways at home here. I think Ange is going to get them playing the style he wants, and Sunderland, you do a loss. You can't keep getting results. I hope you don't. In a friendly way. Don't get on me back against Sunderland fans. Don't like that. But yeah, I'm going to go for Nottingham Forest win. I'm going to win 2-1 against Sunderland. Okay, we've got Tottenham Hotspur at home to Wolves Saturday, and it's the late kick-off. It's 8 o'clock on Saturday from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If there's ever a doubt that how a manager influences results in a club, then just look at Thomas Frank. He's come in. His first 5 games, he's got 10 points for Tottenham Hotspur. At the end of last season, and Ange Postecoglou's last 12 games, they only picked up 5 points. Now, I know there's influence of the Europa League and resting players for the league that he had Ange Postecoglou, but you still look at that and think, wow, that's really turning things around with a new style of play. And that's exactly what Thomas Frank's brought to the club. Last season, it was Tottenham Hotspur who were throwing away 2-0 leads it seemed like every other week. But last week against Brighton, they actually came back from 2-0 down to get a 2-2 draw. They were the better team all the game. Brighton did get 2 goals against run of play. But Spurs, came back. Togetherness was there. Something they didn't have last season. I think there's a lot of morale now. The team playing really well for each other, and they forced Brighton to defend all second half. Got the point. Didn't realise, but the last 5 games against Wolves, Tottenham actually lost, and in 4 of the last 5 games they'd actually conceded 2 or more against Wolves, so somewhat of a bogey team for Tottenham Hotspur. However, this Wolves team, again lost again, 5 in a row lost, not been able to do anything in any of those games, getting close, Wolves won't lay a glove on Tottenham Hotspur, a bit like Anthony Joshua didn't lay a glove on Alexander Usyk at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 4 years ago. So I feel like it's going to be a very one-sided affair, and Tottenham are going to win this game against Wolves 3-0. We've got Aston Villa against Fulham, Sunday 2 o'clock kickoff from Villa Park. Stop the press. Aston Villa score a Premier League goal in the last game. Fantastic news for them. First goal in the league versus Sunderland, and it came from a right back. Came from Matty Cash. I used to play a bit of right back in my time and scored a couple of goals from there, but I won't go on about that because that will bore you to death. Ollie Watkins, I just want a little comment. I feel like he's lost his mojo since January, where I think he wanted his dream move to his club that he's always loved and supported, and that's Arsenal. It was one of him or Duran who was going to go, and in the end it was John Duran who went in that window and brought the funds in. And I just feel like he may, at his age, just feel like he's lost the opportunity to make that dream move. Whether that's just having a little bit of a drain effect on him, his confidence is right down. He's just not the same player, and he's not in the games. Unai Emery, very brave to come out and say accuse his team of lazy defending. However, look at the stats to back that up. He's spot on. They've got the 19th for the most distance covered in games, 18th in tackling, successful tackles, 17th in aerial duels. Everything backs up what he said. But yeah, it's brave to say that in public, and especially when it's the strikers that haven't actually been finding the net. So yeah, very brave to come out with that. But the general play from Villa and the possession statistics are really good. So eventually they're going to have to kick in. But you look at the likes of who they brought in with Marlon's not started playing yet, Morgan Rogers hasn't kicked in, and Jacob Ramsey go. So they're missing Asensio and Rashford from last season, who did really well when they came in. So something's got to improve massively soon. Fulham yet to win away from home in the 2 games, but they are sitting pretty in 8th place still. So a little bit above my expectations, where I would expect them to be. I just fancy this is the game where the season has to kick-start for Villa at home, in front of their own fans. I'm going to go for a conservative 1-0 win to Aston Villa in this game. The big one for me and for my colleague Lewis. Hi mate, how you doing? It's Newcastle, my team, versus Arsenal, Lewis's team. 4:30 kickoff. Battle of in my opinion, the 2 best defences in the Premier League. And yeah, you can't really argue against that too much looking at the statistics. Eddie Howe come out. He said after the last game, that the Bournemouth game, that his team are trying to find new ways of attack, and he actually used Alexander Isak's name for the first time this season as well, saying it was a new style of play they're trying to find with him missing, which was really surprising. He's put his name back in. Obviously, he's got over the whole debacle of that. I think, with Voltemada in there, it's a massively different way of playing. But when Wissa comes back, he'll be a much more natural fit to what the team's used to with his direct running and the way he plays. But that's a few weeks away yet, so we persevere with Voltemada. Anthony Gordon will be back from suspension, so I'd like to see him out on the left wing. It's definitely his strongest position. I don't know what we're thinking playing through the middle, other than the fact of saving Voltemada from injury. And then Elanga back on the right. Didn't play too well against Bradford last night in the League Cup. Didn't look really at the races. He needs to start firing in soon. I really feel like he's not really performing at the moment. But yeah, bogey team, Newcastle bogey team for Arsenal recently, and for Arteta. They don't like it. We're really in the faces. There's a little bit of a rivalry developed, and I love it personally. I think it really goes in our favour, Newcastle. The fans were a little bit perplexed about the the team choice against Manchester City. Trossard started instead of Eze. You then got Madri, who's been looking fantastic recently, picking up a big injury. He's out for at least a couple of months, looking like at the moment, as he just started looking great for England and for Arsenal. These things always happen to England players, don't they, when they're on a run? But Saka's come back. He's got genuine competition for places now, and that's really, really helpful and healthy for Arsenal. The whole team just loaded with quality now in every position, twice over. I just feel this game, Newcastle still trying to adapt to a new look attack, and Arsenal's defence are just so strong. And I hate to say it, but I feel like the little voodoo that we've got over them might come to an end this weekend, and I'm going to go for a 2-0 Arsenal away win. Sorry, Magpies. And finally, we've got another Monday night football to look forward to after a few weeks off. Everton at home to West Ham United, 8 o'clock kick-off. Got to apologise to Everton fans firstly. I said on an earlier video that I wouldn't rule them out from winning a trophy this season, and then obviously they go and get beaten in the League Cup, so yeah, sorry for that one. But yeah, they lost at Anfield in the derby. I don't think they'll be overly concerned about that. They played really, really well, with competitive, but if you compare Liverpool to a heavyweight boxer, you can't let them knock you down twice and expect to get back up. Only Tyson Fury could do that. A heavyweight like Tyson Fury. Everton come back once, but didn't have enough to get up twice to get back to the draw. And in terms of West Ham, I'm going to make a spoiler. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. This will be Graham Potter's last game as West Ham United manager. It really will. And I'll explain why in the prediction at the end. But 3,000 protesters at the game against Crystal Palace. And that's against the board as well as himself, board of directors. They're a team with the worst defence in the Premier League currently, conceding 13 times already in 5 games. If there's any Harry Potter fans out there, do you understand this? It will be Evanesco for Graham Potter. If anyone doesn't watch Harry Potter, it's a vanishing spell, and that's what's going to happen to Graham Potter. He's going to be going soon. My prediction for this game is going to be a comfortable 2-0 home win for Everton. And as we always do, we've got Shricky's treble, and we're still suffering madly on that. We've not won any money in the first 5 weeks. Went a little bit hard on the last games, but it was ultimately Chelsea who didn't beat Manchester United, and Arsenal couldn't beat Manchester City. Chelsea couldn't beat Manchester United, and Arsenal couldn't beat Manchester City. So no win again last week. So I'm going to play a little bit safer this week. I'm going to go for bankers. With this, I'm going to go for Manchester City to beat Burnley. I'm going to go for Tottenham to beat Wolves, and I'm going to go for that one in the last game, as I mentioned, Everton to beat West Ham. £5 stake with Sky Bet. Returns a little £14.44. And as you know, if the win does happen, then I will put 50% of the winnings to Dementia UK. So that would be £7.22 just to get the ball rolling. I really hope I don't slip up on these 3 games. I really don't. I'm praying I get some money in that pot. Need to put something in. And that's everything for this week. Thanks for watching as ever. Any new watchers, hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have watched it and enjoyed it, please press the subscribe button. It'll be somewhere here shortly, if it's not already on. Enjoy the games this week. Like and please comment your predictions, your own predictions as well. See if you can beat me, beat Tricky on the scoring. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy the football as ever, and cheers.